Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the KwaZulu-Natal North Coast, specifically Ballito and, the areas around it.
Right. It's seen some really significant growth. Quite the transformation over the last, 20 years or so.
Exactly. It's gone from being this, quieter coastal strip to a proper, vibrant hub. We've been looking through articles covering the property market surge, the
Yeah.
developments.
A lot going on there.
Yeah. And our mission today really is to unpack what's been driving all that growth, what makes it so attractive to investors and homeowners alike.
And it's quite something. The scale and the speed of it is not just slow progress. It feels like a real reshaping of the whole property scene there.
For sure. So for you listening, we want to pull out the surprising bits, the key insights, but keep it, straightforward.
Makes sense.
Okay, so where do we start? It feels like the King Shaka International Airport opening in 2010 is, a big one.
Oh, absolutely. That comes up again and again. If you think about regional economies, a major piece of infrastructure like an international airport, that's often a primary catalyst.
Right.
The connectivity it brought was huge. Suddenly you've got direct links to Joburg, Cape Town, and importantly, international markets. It just fundamentally changed how accessible the North Coast was.
So it wasn't just easier for holidays.
Not at all. Think about logistics for businesses. If you have national or international dealings, suddenly the North Coast becomes way more viable. That pulls in commercial interests, skilled workers.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It creates a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And that improved transport, that easier access, it directly feeds into demand for property, especially, like you said, those high-end places.
What ones we keep hearing about? Yeah, Ballito itself, Zululami Estate, Seaton Estate, Lalela.
Precisely. The perceived distance just shrinks. What felt maybe a bit remote before is now a practical option, even for people with city jobs or global ties.
So that increased accessibility really lit a fire under the demand for those premium spots.
You could say that, yeah.
Okay, let's zoom in on Ballito itself then. The way it's described, it's gone from a quiet seaside village to a flourishing urban hub. That's quite a shift in 2 decades.
It really is remarkable. You're seeing this transition from, a relaxed coastal town to something much more dynamic.
Yeah.
Lots of residential development, commercial, even some industrial stuff coming in.
And the key is still that accessibility, right? The highways and being, 15 minutes from the airport?
That's the magic combo, isn't it? 15 minutes from a major international airport, but you're still living that coastal life. It's a very powerful draw.
It really sounds like it. Easy travel, easy business, but you're by the sea.
And you see that reflected in who it attracts.
Families, retirees, businesses looking for that strategic edge.
All of the above. Now, obviously, that kind of rapid growth comes with its own challenges.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, like keeping up with infrastructure, environmental impact.
Those are definitely things that need careful management. Keeping infrastructure pace, protecting the environment, making sure the quality of life that drew people there in the first place isn't lost. But the continued investment suggests they're, actively tackling those things.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those big estates. Seaton Estate gets mentioned as world-class luxury. What's the story there?
Yeah, the description's positioned as setting a new standard. You've got the obvious stuff, panoramic sea views, big houses, good security, modern amenities.
Right, the expected luxury items.
But then they add direct beach access, walking trails, even golf courses. That combination really elevates it, makes it highly sought after by both local and international buyers looking for that premium package.
It's the whole lifestyle, not just the house.
Exactly. And it's interesting, the success isn't just the luxury. It's that focus on a secure, sort of self-contained community. That really taps into what people were looking for, especially after COVID. That desire for safety, community, maybe more control over your environment.
That makes sense. A post-pandemic trend.
We're seeing that elsewhere too, yeah.
Okay, then there's Zululami Estate. Sounds like a different vibe, more eco-focused.
That's right. It leans into sustainability, that connection with nature. It actually borders a nature reserve, so there's a big emphasis on conservation.
So luxury, but with an environmental conscience.
Pretty much.
Oh my.
It offers that peace and quiet, that privacy, but you're still really close to Ballito Town. Appeals to buyers who want the high-end lifestyle, but maybe feel strongly about, environmental values.
Got it. And the third one mentioned is Lalela Estate. Where does that fit in?
Lalela seems geared towards more contemporary feel, modern homes, lots of green space, but the key selling point appears to be its proximity. It's really close to Ballito shops, restaurants, that kind of thing.
So more about convenience.
Yeah, blending that coastal living with easy access to urban amenities. Makes it attractive for young families, maybe retirees who want things close by, and investors looking for that mix.
It's interesting how they've carved out these distinct niches within the same area.
Caters to slightly different slices of that high demand.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. North Point commercial and industrial node. Sounds important for the bigger picture.
Oh, absolutely vital. You need that balance between residential and commercial for sustainable growth. North Point is a big part of that. Its location is super strategic, right between the N2 highway and the R10, and again, just 15 minutes to the airport.
Prime location for business, then.
Definitely. And it's attracted some big international brands, which says a lot about the infrastructure, the services, the workforce access. It really helps anchor the region's economic expansion.
And it's pretty big, too, right? 380,000 square meters. That's substantial.
It is. And think about the consumer base nearby. Over 100,000 people within 10 kilometers, plus skilled labor available. It all feeds into this picture of a growing, sort of self-sustaining economic zone,
Yeah, it's not just people moving to live there, but businesses moving in to operate.
which creates jobs, stimulates the economy further. It's a positive cycle.
Now, the sources mention some stats about the types of homes in Ballito, lots and estates, but also a high percentage of sectional title. How does that work? Is there overlap?
Yeah, that overlap is likely key. Sectional title just means individually owned units in a bigger complex. So you can have sectional title apartments or townhouses within a secure estate.
Ah, okay. So it's not either.
Exactly. It highlights the diversity. There's clearly huge demand for estate living. That security, the amenities, community feel, especially post-COVID. Seaton's a prime example.
Right.
But the high number of sectional titles shows there are also, let's say, more accessible ways into the market. Maybe smaller units, different price points, even within those secure environments.
So it allows developers to offer different densities, maybe a slightly lower entry price point for estate life?
Potentially, yes. It broadens the market appeal. You get anything from, say, a smaller sectional title home around 3 million rand up to large freehold houses or even vacant land for maybe 8 million or more.
So it caters to different budgets, not just the super wealthy.
Precisely. There are opportunities for first-time buyers, people looking for more affordable coastal options, though maybe in smaller units or slightly outside the most exclusive gates.
And who are these buyers? What do the demographics look like?
Seems pretty diverse. A big chunk are middle-aged, about 42%, but there's also a significant slice of young adults, around 21%, and apparently many of those are first-time buyers.
That suggests a healthy, sustainable market, doesn't it? Not just retirees.
Absolutely, and the family-friendly aspect seems crucial. Good schools are mentioned: Curro, Redham, Ashton, Umlali, plus healthcare like Ballito Hospital.
Those schools are a big draw for families moving into an
A
area.
huge draw. Adds another layer beyond just the nice house and the beach.
And it's not just locals buying. About 30% come from elsewhere.
Yeah, mainly from other parts of South Africa. Johannesburg, Bloemfontein, Richards Bay are mentioned. It shows Ballito's appeal is spreading. People are actively choosing to relocate there from inland cities.
Drawn by the lifestyle, the jobs, the connectivity we talked about.
All those factors working together.
And the market activity seems strong. The 2022 numbers, over 1,100 transfers, worth 3.7 billion rand just in the Dolphin Coast region.
So those are solid numbers. They provide real evidence of that strong demand. And the total value of transactions climbing significantly in both 2021 and 2022, around 5 billion rand mentioned, points to a clear upward trend. Confidence in the market.
So looking forward, the outlook seems pretty positive, more growth expected.
That's certainly the picture painted by the sources. Continued projects, both residential and commercial, especially in those key estates, Seaton, Zululami, Lalela. The pipeline looks strong.
And that mix of luxury, sustainability, convenience, it keeps the investment potential high.
Seems likely. Plus, any ongoing improvements to infrastructure, more amenities being added, that's just going to keep driving demand, making it even more attractive to live and work there.
So it sounds like Ballito is set to remain one of South Africa's real property hotspots.
All the signs point that way. Strong buyer interest, increasing appeal as both a place to live and a place to do business.
Okay, so wrapping this up. It's clear Ballito's growth isn't down to just one thing. It's this powerful mix, isn't it?
Definitely.
The airport kickstarted things, boosting accessibility, strategic location, ongoing development, crucial. And then these high-quality developments, both residential like Seaton, Zululami, Lalela, and commercial like North Point, they've created this really appealing, diverse environment.
And it's how those things reinforce each other, I think. The infrastructure enables the development creates the lifestyle attracts more people and business. It's that synergy.
Yeah. And we've seen it caters to different needs, families, investors, retirees with a range of properties and strong demand across the board.
It presents a compelling case, whether you're looking for a home, a holiday place, or an investment.
For sure. Okay, so here's something to think about as we finish. Reflecting on Ballito's story, what other coastal areas, maybe even globally, might be poised for similar transformations thanks to big infrastructure boosts?
Hmm, interesting question.
And maybe think beyond just property prices. What are those intangible things, the less quantifiable elements, that really make a region click and become a truly thriving, sought-after place? Something to chew on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.